Back to IPL 5 at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas. We've got the very last game of Group A about to take place here between SK Gaming and Colwn, our very top European team. They won the first European qualifier that we played. They got the win at ESWC just a month ago, and SK Gaming trying to advance out of this group. They need a win here. The third map is going to be Archways. I'm Ask Joshi, casting with Total Biscuit, a very special guest commentator. What'd you think of that first game?
That was nothing short of phenomenal. Really, really great game. I love that map to pieces. It's such a classic. It's one that we saw probably get the best games in the first Shootmania tournament they ever did. And this game has evolved so much since then. I'm seeing things that I've never seen before. I've seen the movement system be smoothed out. Everything just seems tighter and on point, which is what you need when you're going to be building a competitive shooter from the very building blocks of what makes a shooter enjoyable to watch, which is exactly what Shootmania is. It's a set of building blocks for the player base to do with as they please.
That's true.
In this case, Elite has been chosen for the moment as the premier competitive mode, and this is why, because you see these great clutch situations, you see this excellent skill going in across the board.
All right, it looks like we actually are going to have to restart the map. We've got a little sound issue. And go ahead and clear chat. But that's all right. It should only take a moment. But yeah, very happy to have you here, Total Biscuit.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
Casting StarCraft 2. Who are some of the other casters you've been paired up with this weekend?
I've been casting with Mighty Grubby. We do have a hotel full of legends right now. You know, it's like legends from different games. Obviously, Rafa and Sturmy here. But we had Grubby. I was casting with Sheth as well. And of course, the mighty Mr. D Apollo on the analysis. We just did some great series over on the main stage. And right now, the GSL World Championship is going on, which is nothing short of phenomenal.
Yeah, so Rafa actually saying in the chat for people paying attention to that, they actually need to restart again so that they get the proper attacker first. Colwn should be the first attackers here. We'll make sure this actually works correctly. We'll find out. Okay, well, they're just going to go with it. Here we go. This is Game 3. SK Clock actually attacking in first. Wins AKM and Sturmy hanging back, picking out their defensive position. So Archways is another classic one, actually, that it's been around for a long time. Basically, you've got 3 entrances as an attacker. You've got 2 little archways, hence the name of the map, plus the tunnel in the center. They all spit you out about the same distance from the goal. It's just a matter of getting through there without losing any points of armor, because the 3 defensive players can post up very early and just start spamming rockets in those directions. Wins AKM and Sturmy just staring down Clock here on the side of the map here.
Let's see what he can make out of this one at the moment. We've got a pretty aggressive defense attempting to flank here. Whoa. Connection comes in, but that's 1 for 1. Not a bad trade, especially if you nail that air rail. That's very nice indeed. And now AKM suddenly in a really awkward spot, sitting there saying, oh, yep, come on, take it, take it. You know you want to. Come at me. Man. And there it is.
Yeah, Clock is actually on fire this series.
Yeah.
That is his 4th attacking round across 3 games, and AKM attacking now for Colwn is the one who got 2 successful attacking rounds just in that previous map on Crossroads. We'll see what he's going to be able to do. We're going to zoom out now and check out SK Gaming's defensive positions. This is all pretty standard stuff here. ID, Rafa, and Clock posting up near these obstacles. Basically, the 2 trees and the goal itself are nice to be able to hide behind, play Ring Around the Rosie with any attackers that happen to show up. AKM now in position to start taking some shots on the defenders. About 20 seconds left before the goal could be open.
Pretty good spot for AKM to be in, honestly. You know, he does get this range advantage whereby he's able to nail his opponent very, very easily, whereas he's got rockets coming at him from one direction specifically, and it's really hard to flank him in that spot. But AKM not able to make it happen thus far. There we go. There's the pickup here on Clock. Gets him out of the way, but he did trade a point of armor for that, and now he might get nailed into a corner. There is a possibility the defenders will try and rush him. A second wild rocket actually hits him out of nowhere, and at this point, SK will be very wise to rush this guy down, but there's a pickup over the lip of the hill. He is the sniper on the grassy knoll. Will he be able to make it work? No, he will not, because that's Rafa with the final rocket.
All right, Clock with that 1 attacking round. Rafa with the great defense is putting SK in a great position here. They're up 2-0 in this 3rd and final map of this best-of-3 series. It is the last game again of Group A play. We're going to be starting Group B right after this with Complexity, Planet Express, Fnatic, and TCM Gaming. There's 4 other excellent teams we're going to be seeing games from for the rest of the evening. But Rafa versus all of Colwn right now. Is he going to be able to find his laser? They did pick this map, and I am actually kind of curious why. The one unique thing about archways that every other map has different is actually the goal itself. You can see the base of the goal is actually a side of the area you have to stand on, where everyone else, the goal is in the center of that area. So it creates some unique situations when you're dueling right there at the end. If, say, you have 1 armor and the defender has 1 armor, you can still challenge that goal a lot easier.
Well, Rafa has been doing a phenomenal job of dodging rockets. He doesn't care. He really doesn't. But now he's going to. There we go. That was only going to happen for so long. But that was some nice footwork there from Rafa. Really, really fun to watch.
When you see that volley of 3 rockets all coming at him and he misses all 3 of them, you know that he's breathing a sigh of relief. But then, of course, immediately after that, he was propped up in the air and eliminated. Wins attacking once again for Colwn. Clock, Rafa, ID all hanging back on their defensive positions. Wins takes a long-range shot, hoping for the best. Does not make a connection, but he's going to go ahead and move up the side. And soon he'll be able to start taking some shots. Maybe he can get an opening on this left side defender. It is going to be Clock, and Clock instead gets 2 rockets on him. Rafa hits one from across the way, and Wins, is put down.
Yeah, that was a bit of a disaster, honestly, for Wins. That wasn't going anywhere, unfortunately. And while it's nice if you can get the right or left flank position if the defenders are staying quite close to the goal. If they're not, then you end up in a situation where you've got this one defender who's going to try and herd you into one position while the other 2 just jump down your neck. And when that happens, it's really, really awkward. A lot of zoning rockets coming in. Archway's known for that, certainly. You're going to see a lot flying through there. And it's going to hide behind the spawn position for a little while. Come around the side of the tree. I'm sure there was a defender over there.
There is.
In fact, there is. Yeah, he's actually currently out of sight. And this might end up being pretty ugly here. It takes a hit. And ID now in a nasty, nasty situation. This may not go anywhere for ID, honestly. He's having to back off, and honestly, what kind of approach can you take against 3 defenders with 1 armor? Usually it involves luck, suicide, or amazing clutch play. There's one. He takes
my goodness.
Seriously, ID going for it right now. Sturmy, the
God.
The defensive master is put down there by ID, and that's what I'm talking about, clutch play. I guess that's the answer to my question. That's what you do in that situation.
That's just the one he chose, you know. There were 3 options.
He had so many options.
You gave him a couple of things he could have done, you know, suicide or luck, and that just
just mad skills.
Yeah,
mad skills is cool too.
That was the round of ID's tournament, I think. He's been, you know, Clock has been doing a lot of great attack rounds. Rafa and ID have been playing just really, really great on defense, but that was a monster of an attack round, especially after starting so far down. We've got Sturmy attacking now to try and rectify the situation for Colwn, already losing 2 points of armor to ID, the man who just scored on him, so can't get any retribution. Look at that. Rafa just looping around the side, finishing him off.
Nice and easy.
We've got a 5-1 score right now for SK Gaming. They are looking pretty well set to take this game.
Clock's up again. So this could be an absolute landslide here for SK. Let's see how this one turns out. Here he goes. What route is he going to take? The tunnel underneath doesn't really get a lot of use, and as you saw, it doesn't really give you all that much of a benefit, but you do have the choice of going that way, one way or the other, because it doesn't really take a lot of time to get to the side, regardless of which route you take. Clock's going to flank up the side here. If we have a look at the overview, then we've got AKM hiding behind a pillar around the side. Sturmy and Wins over to the right-hand side here. They can start to try and zone out. Let's see if AKM can actually get a hit on right there. Currently nothing yet. Clock just dodging those rockets nice and easy peasy, and more of those rockets kind of blind more so than anything else. To be expected to try and zone him out, but there was a miss. Clock should have really grabbed that. Couple of seconds coming in before he goes for the cap, and
wow, that was
absolutely not.
3 shots all at once. Wins and a double tap from AKM shut him down. You know, we're talking about the 3 entrances here. You've got archway, archway, tunnel. Really, the more important route that you're going to look at is the lead up to the goal itself. You've got a left side hill that you can walk up, right side hill that you can walk up, but these 3 ramps, you can actually stay at the base, stay hidden a little bit, and then use your stamina, all of it at once, to basically fly up the ramp and catch a defender off guard from time to time. So there's, you know, just 5 different ways essentially that you can attack in from, and AKM is looking for a free shot perhaps on a defender. It doesn't look like they know exactly where he is, but after firing that laser, they've got a better idea. 3 spotters can usually point out where an attacker is, and you see all the prediction rockets because they know he's going to have to come over the lip. I don't think that defender is still there. No, it looks like he has successfully retreated back. Rafa, oh, there he is on the column. Clock landing 2 rockets now. AKM in, dire straits here. I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything.
Oh, missing that one killed him. There's no question. He had to hit that rail. Otherwise, that would have been game over for him. He would have been rushed down. That's exactly what happened with Clock taking out AKM, and Rafa is now going to be up to the plate here for SK. And really, all they need to be doing for SK, they could trade rounds. They could even lose a couple, and they'll still be fine with a lead like this. But Rafa would love to nail another attacking round for SK. He's going to take the tunnel initially. So he's going to make his way through there, and then the question is, where does he go? Does he go left, right? Does he decide to hide behind the spawning point?
I'm not sure. We'll see as Rafa moves up. He's still got some time to decide.
Yep.
He's got a full stamina bar. He's looking for some defenders now so he can help inform his decision. Doesn't actually see anything, but he throws out the laser, and of course that's the cue for all 3 defenders to pop out and start firing rockets like crazy. He actually just baited those rockets to figure out where the defenders were, which is a great idea.
Really smart.
Rafa moving on around the left side does get nailed by 1 rocket from AKM. You can see a slew of others trying to do the same job. He does pick off AKM, and he's in an equitable situation, but time is counting down now, losing another point of armor. This is going to be pretty difficult for Rafa.
Let's see if Rafa can pull off the clutch play.
Man.
Nails one more. This is one-on-one right now. This can certainly work. However, he's up against that fellow right there, and that's going to be tricky. And yes, indeed, running out the clock right there. Not something we actually see an awful lot in this series, but hell, it did happen. He was looking for the final rail. He wasn't able to get it.
That's true. Then it's the most anticlimactic. I mean, normally
when time
it's
just
like,
runs out? Yeah,
normally it's like the time is counting down, 3, 2, 1. But this game has so many other possible endings that are just more exciting. You know, rockets eliminating you, lasers eliminating you. The timer is just like an afterthought.
It's like, you really want to go that way?
Yeah.
Really? Well, actually, you do. I mean, it might seem like that's suicidal, right? Well, no, because there's only 4 rockets, at which point they're going to start to recharge. And if you're going to fire all 4 simultaneously, that means that the next rocket salvo is probably going to be more like 1 or 2 rockets, much easier to dodge. There's a gap there that you can exploit. And that's exactly what's happening right now as Wins makes his way around and picks off Rafa immediately. Clock, in exposed position. Will he be able to make this work? And this is a good situation for Wins to be in, certainly, but he needs to land another one. Certainly at that kind of distance. Too many players out in the open, and I'm very surprised not being able to connect that thus far. ID looking for it, not able to get it up to this point. Needs to get one more in. Crossfire comes in, looks for the rushdown. Oh, he almost picks this up. Oh, no. So close, 68% on the cap. He actually backed off there when he didn't really need to. He could have maybe picked that one up, but it was dicey one way or the other.
That was a really interesting scenario as he came up the side there. He took a couple of shots that I don't think he should have, and then he kind of passed on a couple of shots that I think he should have definitely gone for, especially with 2 defenders kind of exposed like that at the end. He was really focused on the one by the goal, but the other one was just running around freely, taking shots at him. ID attacking now. He did just have an amazing attacking round coming back from 1 armor and nailing all 3 defenders. So he is certainly capable of doing some score adjusting, can perhaps build their lead even further. That was kind of interesting. He picked off the defender, didn't have to get hit by the rocket, but sort of looped back into it unwittingly. And Sturmy and Wins need to land 2 more rockets here, or ID will basically seal the deal on this map. ID, 1 more shot would put the score up to 8-3.
He's looking really good here, actually. The best scenario is when the defenders are all coming from the same direction. And even better if he gets 1 more, but he might be choking here. I don't like what I'm seeing. But there he goes. ID with the conversion makes it all the way through with the hat trick on the rail, and 8-3. Right, well, Colwyn's got a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, Colwyn Sturmy needs to start a comeback here. They are down 3 attacking rounds. They must win essentially 4 straight, 5 straight, just to be able to get into extra rounds here. This is looking pretty gloom and doom for them to try and take this map. Look at that, a little bit of a different position.
An aggressive maneuver, and it kind of pays off as well. You might think, oh, 1 for 1, but that's not bad, especially with Clock now hunting down Sturmy in a close range scenario.
Oh man, Sturmy does actually pick off another defender. Rafa still standing. We've got that Rafa versus Sturmy duel.
I love it.
Once again, and this could be the last round actually of this entire series, so it's a fitting end for these 2 legendary Quake players.
Yep, can Rafa make this work, or is Sturmy going to keep Colwyn's hopes in this series alive? We are about to find out. 2 points of armor. Generally speaking, Sturmy would be in the better position here, but against Rafa, maybe not, especially...
and Rafa wins the game.
All right, well, yeah, that didn't work out so well for Sturmy, not at all, but an amazing, amazing shot there for Rafa, and a great series for SK, honestly, very impressive.
Yeah, very nice stuff there from Clock, Rafa, and ID. Rafa with great defensive work at the very end there. Clock with just very consistent attacking rounds across all 3 games. And ID basically having the game of the tournament here for himself.
No kidding.
2 attacking rounds there on Archways, both of them very impressive, and 5 defensive rockets for himself. But Colwn didn't take a single attacking round. That's the only map they've played today where they did not take a single attacking round. So very, very good job there by SK Gaming, keeping their tournament alive. Colwn advancing as well in this 3-way tie. We actually had 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, and 1-0-3 team. The 3-way tie is going to go to map score, and I believe Colwn and SK Gaming. I will make sure, of course, when we return, but I'm fairly certain that that's the result. So thanks very much, everyone who was watching. Thanks very much to Total Biscuit.
No problem. My pleasure as always.
Yeah, coming to guest cast is very, very much appreciated. You and Kevin Naki both still keeping an interest in Shootmania is really fun for us to have a lot of alternating talent coming in and watching the game.
It's a good, fun game, and it's really interesting to see how it evolves, honestly. From casting the first tournament, the game was kind of in a bit of a ropey state, and then had the pleasure to cast at E3 and then at PAX, and it's like, this game is getting better and better and better, and the talent's coming in now as well, which is what makes things all the more interesting to watch. So keep an eye on Shootmania, folks. It is very much the evolving esport at the moment, and one of the only team-based FPS shooters that are currently being watched in the esports scene right now.
Yeah, so definitely appreciate all of our viewers at home, viewers in the audience. Thank you very much. And yeah, give yourselves a cheer, everybody. If you're interested in playing Shootmania and you still haven't had a chance to yet, definitely check out shootmania.com. You can sign up for the beta anytime, and I definitely advise it. It's a lot of fun. And I've been playing it since the alpha, thanks to your wife, actually.
Yes, yeah, it was weird how all of that actually came about, wasn't it? And you ended up in there, and then suddenly you were just dominating everyone. It's like, hey, suddenly he's the premier caster for Shootmania. The cool thing about Shootmania, of course, is that very much like the studio's previous work, Trackmania, it's what the community makes of it. You see one mode here out of a lot of modes, and new ones are being created all the time, as well as new maps. So if you don't want to play this uber competitive team-based mode, you can play all sorts of different things, with all sorts of different weapons, different map setups, and free-for-all, team-based, solo, FFA, all sorts of things like that. So thank you very much for watching, folks, and we will be heading to a break. We'll be bringing you some great Shootmania content a little bit later on here, live from IPL 5.